A poor boy was tricked by an old man into trading his family's only milk cow for 5 mysterious magic beans. When his mother found out, she was furious. In a fit of anger, she threw the beans out of the window. But that night, something unbelievable happened. The beans suddenly sprouted from the ground and grew at an incredible speed. Within hours, they transformed into a gigantic beanstalk that stretched high above the clouds. The next morning, Ethan woke up and was stunned by the enormous vine reaching into the sky. Certain that it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, he decided to climb it. After climbing for an entire day and night, Ethan finally broke through the clouds and arrived in a mysterious land floating above the heavens. A wide stone road stretched out before him. Without hesitation, he followed it until he arrived at a gigantic castle. He knocked on the massive front door, but no one answered. Curious, he pushed the heavy door open just enough to slip inside unnoticed. The moment he entered, he froze in amazement. Every chair, table, and piece of furniture inside the castle was unbelievably enormous. Before he could figure out why, the entire castle suddenly began to shake. Terrified, Ethan quickly hid behind a large object. Moments later, a terrifying giant walked into the castle. The giant immediately sniffed the air and sensed the smell of a human. He searched every corner of the castle, trying to find the intruder. Fortunately for Ethan, the giant eventually gave up. He sat down at the dining table and enjoyed an enormous feast. After finishing his meal, he carried over 3 heavy money bags. Each one was overflowing with glittering gold coins. Ethan's eyes widened in disbelief. Then the giant ordered his magical hen to lay an egg. Without hesitation, the obedient hen laid a solid golden egg. The giant laughed proudly. Next, he commanded his magical harp to play. The enchanted harp began performing a beautiful lullaby, and before long, the giant drifted into a deep sleep. Ethan knew this was his only chance. Quietly, he climbed onto the table and grabbed the magical hen, the enchanted harp, and all 3 bags of gold. He had almost escaped. But just then, the harp suddenly shouted, "Thief! Thief! Someone is stealing!" The loud cries instantly woke the giant. Realizing his treasures were gone, he roared with rage and charged after Ethan. Ethan ran as fast as he possibly could. He knew that if the giant caught him, there would be no escape. As they raced through the forest, the giant accidentally stumbled into a field of thick thorn bushes. Furious, he smashed through trees and hurled enormous boulders toward Ethan. Luckily, Ethan narrowly dodged every attack. At last, he reached the giant beanstalk and quickly slid down toward the ground. The giant looked below and smiled. To him, the human world looked like the perfect hunting ground, where people were nothing more than prey. However, his enormous body became wedged in the opening at the top of the beanstalk, slowing him down. By the time he finally squeezed through and continued climbing down, Ethan had already reached home. When Ethan's mother saw the terrifying giant descending from the sky, she fainted in horror. Knowing there was only one way to save everyone, Ethan grabbed an axe and began chopping the beanstalk with all his strength. Again and again. After nearly 100 powerful swings, the massive vine finally snapped. The giant plummeted thousands of feet to the ground below and was defeated forever. From that day on, Ethan used the magical hen that laid golden eggs to build a prosperous life. He and his mother never had to worry about food or money again, and they lived happily ever after.